Okay, welcome everyone, and welcome to those who are watching after the fact on YouTube. I'm going to post this, even if I do share some unvarnished, plain-spoken opinions about things tonight. I won't erase it. I do have a little bit of a controversial take on something. I'll wait for a few minutes before I start messing around with that idea. Well, I have a new song, so that makes about 6 or 7 in the last week and a half. I guess if I was being pretentious, I could call this my blue period. I'm writing some blues and some songs that have a kind of depth of emotion to them that I really can't escape. I dare say that, I don't know, my philosophy now is if you're going to write a blues, really go for it. What's the use of a kind of semi-happy blues or a funny blues? Now, rock and roll, to me, the greatest rock and roll song ever is Roll Over Beethoven, and I have to tell you that I'm prejudiced in favor of the Beatles version that was sung by George Harrison. Recently, as I was listening to it, I became enamored of the solid rhythm guitar. I'm going to put another Band-Aid on here. Really, that's TMI, I know. There's a lot of attention given to almost everything about the Beatles. Their production, their engineering. Jeff Emmerich was 19 years old when they made Sgt. Pepper, and he won the Grammy that year for Best Engineered Album, as well he should have. Everything, and Mal Evans they're writing a book about him now, their roadie, and George has been revered in his own ways, although he was relatively low-key. McCartney, of course, has gotten his due, but if there's not much overlooked there, but if there is anything, it might be John Lennon's guitar playing. And welcome to a new audience member. And as I said a minute ago, we're also taping this for people to watch on YouTube tomorrow. And there is a good number of people who do join us after the fact. But it's nice to have you in the chat room and in the audience live. John Lennon's guitar playing on Roll Over Beethoven is just amazingly great. And when you go back and listen to it this time, listen for that. George plays great. They all play great. But John is just like locked in like a timepiece, unstoppably solid on the rhythm electric guitar. He played a lot of parts on acoustic guitar, even on the rock and roll songs. He's playing acoustic guitar on A Hard Day's Night. He's playing acoustic guitar on Can't Buy Me Love. He really did seem to gravitate towards that and want to get, that kind of bigger, fuller footprint, so to speak, fingerprint on the songs. Oh, somebody said hello. Hey, hi. You are currently known to me as user's iPhone, but if you want to identify yourself, please do. And if not, don't worry about it. You can remain anonymous. Roll over Beethoven. Yeah, hi, Michael. Glad you're here. Roll over Beethoven is a song of great wit and humor. And it's pertinent for rock and roll. I've been trying to write a rock and roll song the last week, and I've been in a bountiful harvest of songs. 7 songs in the last week and a half is a high batting average. Although, the batting average has to be related to how usable are the songs. And I don't think it ever gets to be more than 30%, maybe. You do write a lot of songs that I write a lot of filler material, I should say. Songs that just come to me in the middle of the night. But I've been very pleased with the amount of useful songs and songs that I am going to record, God willing. And I started that process this week. Took the baby steps necessary. But I was saying that a blues, there's no such thing as a. No, I'm wrong. I'm about to say something that I have to reconsider. I was going to say there's no such thing as a funny blues, but that's not true at all. Steamroller is a joke song, and thereby it kind of almost disqualifies itself from being a real blues because it's a joke. And I have learned over the years to like it less and less. I'm sorry to say. I love James Taylor, and I think his song "The Blues Is Just a Bad Dream" is one of the greatest blues ever written. But Steamroller seems like a vaudeville song to me now or something, because he wanted to write the heaviest blues song. I Put a Spell on You is a song that comes to mind as funny. But I personally am not inclined to leaven the depth of feeling, the emotion, the seriousness of the great blues songs stand. And but as I try to write this rock song, maybe by next week I'll have a rock and roll song for you, and that I hope will have some humor to it. This is one of my most recent bluesy songs, and it's called "Deeper Than Sorrow." What's deeper than sorrow? What hurts more than a broken heart? What's lonelier than being lonely, yeah, when you're falling apart, yeah. It's when you've been abandoned like you've never been known. What's deeper than sorrow is when you're facing it alone. When your best friend and your lover are the same one. It's deeper than sorrow. It's a pain that gets deeper in every way. But you still have to get up and put the mask on every day. It's deeper than sorrow, yeah. It's worse than a broken heart. It's lonelier, lonelier than lonely, yeah. When you fall apart, yeah. Wellspring of feeling that you have to plumb if you want to sing the blues. Okay, that's my new song. That's called Deeper Than Sorrow. Speaking of sorrow, I was sad to hear of the passing of a lady named Libby Titus, who, if she never did another thing in her life, she made musical history by co-writing, probably the greatest heartbreak song ever written. And that is a song called Love Has No Pride. And I was at a recording session with her one time at the House of Music in West Orange, New Jersey. She was sitting on the couch. She wasn't alone and she wasn't lonely and being ignored. She had some conversations going, but if I knew then what I know now, I would have gone over and said something. I was all of 25 years old. I was not smart enough to go over and tell her, wow, what you did with that song, Love Has No Pride. I would have to say that the definitive version of that song was recorded by Bonnie Raitt up in Woodstock, which is where Libby Titus lived. And that song was also recorded by Linda Ronstadt, but Bonnie's version is kind of the gold standard. And Libby Titus was married to Donald Fagen, by the way, at the end of her life. She was married to Levon Helm, too. And they had 2 children, including the professional singer Amy Helm. So she was in the musical crowd type of situation there. It's a hard song to sing, but I'll do my best. And then in a month or so from now, we'll be treated to the sight of Bonnie Raitt winning, or being honored at the Kennedy Center. She's one of the honorees this year, and the ceremony is in December. It goes like this. I've had bad dreams too many times to think that they will never come back again. Fine times have gone and left my sad home. Friends who once cared just walk out my door. Love has no pride. When I call out your name, love has no pride. Yeah. When there's no one to blame, I'd give anything to see you again. I've been alone too many nights to think that they will never come back again. And I've heard you talk. He's crazy to stay, but my love hurts me so. I don't care what you say. Love has no pride. When I call out your name, love has no pride, no. When there's no one but myself to blame, I'd do anything to see you again. If I could buy your love, I'd truly try, my friend. And if I could pray, my prayer would never end. And if you want me to beg, I'll go down on my knees, begging for you to come back. I'll be pleading for you to come back, begging for you to come back to me. Love has no pride. When I call out your name, love has no pride. When there's no one to blame, I'd give anything to see you again. Yes, I'd give anything to see you again. That is a duet on the Give It Up album, recorded in Woodstock, and the duet in the sense that it is a song played by Bonnie and Freebo on bass, and there's no other musicians on it. let me collect my thoughts for a minute. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. So that's a beautiful version. Really, I'm sure it was live. That whole album was live. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Um, the album recorded in Woodstock was all live performances. Really, they weren't punching in and doing composite vocals or anything like that. And then there is a truly live recording that was done at a concert, um, and I can't remember what the benefit was for, but it's on Apple Music, and I'm sure it's on Spotify, and it's live, and it's maybe one of the most magnificent live performances I've ever heard. Bonnie doing "Love Has No Pride," and she even slows it down more. Uh, it's a really hard song to sing when you sing it that slow, but we know, we pretty much know what she's about at this point, and that is about great excellence. Now, I'm going to do this other new song. I think I recorded it I did it last week on the show, I think. And that's how many I'm writing. I'm forgetting. This is kind of the, the blues. You got some anger in some blues too. And I'm going to share with you that that's where this song came from. And let me see if I can find the right beat here for it. I normally don't use the beat machine, except I'm doing it because I'm taking a solo in the middle of it. So I'm gonna just increase the beat a little bit here. After all the time I've known you and all that we have shared, I have come to the conclusion that you never really cared. And it hurts to be alone, baby, but I'm ready for the day if I see you on the street, baby, I will turn around and walk away. I'm not into worthless small talk like hi, how are you? I don't really care where you live or what you do. And while we're both still local, until I move away, if I see you on the street, I will turn around and walk away. Now I'm gonna play some guitar. someday in the future you'll forgive and I'll forget, but I wouldn't hold my breath, 'cause it's far from happening yet. And in the meantime, I believe there will come a day that I'll see you in the street and I'll just turn around and walk away. Boy, that would surprise you if I told you who that was about. It's my prerogative to keep it to myself. And that's not a bad thing, you know, because when you do that, then you can kind of take it to heart as your own. You can live through it with me. Now what? I am going to play another new bluesy, melancholy song. You know, Frank Sinatra had an album. It's really a great album. It was in the days of the late 50s, and he was recording with Nelson Riddle and others, and he did this album. It was before Songs for Swingin' Lovers, which may be the greatest album ever recorded of its kind, and they used to call them concept albums because if somebody else is joining us here live, hey, I know who that is. Glad to have you on board, friend. The concept album was invented by Nelson Riddle and Frank Sinatra well before Sgt. Pepper was famous as a concept album. What does it mean, concept album? What does it refer to? It means that the songs are all cut from the same cloth. They all go together. One great concept album of that era was Frank Sinatra's In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning. They're all very similar songs. Songs for Swingin' Lovers. The whole album kind of swings. But there was one album in there, and I just love it. I just love it. And it's called No One Cares. And it's got this gray, black, and white cover. And every song on it is relentlessly sad, dark, and depressing in a way. And let's use a better word, melancholy, not depressing necessarily. I love that album. I can listen to the whole thing all the way through. But I talked to a DJ one time, and he said, "Oh yeah, you mean the Suicide album?" And that's what it was. That's what it was like. And so in that regard, not to pile on with the melancholy here, but I want to play you a new song of mine written in this past month of October. And this song is called I Thought I Heard Somebody Call My Name. And it uses a device that I've never used before. I'll tell you after the fact. You see what you think of it. inside a dream of gray November skies. I thought I heard somebody call my name, the way you used to do when you were here. And for a moment I felt that you were near, and everything was still the same. The power of a single spoken word, when it's revealed in the middle of the night. You'll shake off the deepest sleep you've ever known, when you feel you're in a love that will not end. No. I thought I heard somebody call my name, the way you did when you were here. And for a moment you were near,
That guitar down.
and everything was still the same. I thought I heard somebody call my name, the way you used to do when you were here. And for a moment I felt you near, and everything was still the same. Well, thank you for listening to that, and enduring it, even in a way. I spoke of James Taylor's song. That's one of the two things I might want to tell him when and if I meet him. It's not a done deal, but the last time I was hanging out with his sister in New Hope, Pennsylvania, when she was playing at Havana's, we were upstairs in the dressing room there, and she said, "Have you ever met James?" She still has a little bit of that North Carolina lilt in her voice. And I said, "No, I've come close. I've been 10 feet away from him in a party, and I have not met him." And then I actually thought that Bonnie Raitt was going to introduce me to him at the Wells Fargo Center when she opened for him. But to my chagrin, we went backstage, and her backstage area was completely separate. Yeah, okay, thank you, Alan. I do have the nuclear setting on my electric guitar, and your feedback is always welcome. Woo! No, not that kind of feedback. So she said, when I said, no, I've almost met him, she said, well, we're going to have to do something about that. And I was like, well, here I am. I'm ready when you are. But I want to say two things to James Taylor. One is a personal thing about a friend. Won't mean much to many of you who are watching this on YouTube in the next few days. But I'm going to say, what's your memories of Rick Philp, the great guitar player? And then I want to tell him how highly I think of his blues. The song on his first album that was called "The Blues Is Just a Bad Dream," which totally nails something very important and universal about the blues. So let me pick it for you now. A tree grows in my backyard, only grows at night. Its branches, they're all twisted, and its leaves are afraid of light. They said them blues is just a bad dream. They seem to live inside your head. When it's lonely in the morning, baby, you're bound to wish you was lying dead. Said there's winds out on the ocean, and they're blowing where they choose. Them winds ain't got no emotion, baby, and they don't know that the the blues is just a bad dream. When it's lonely in the morning, babe, yeah, you're bound to wish you was. I'm gonna play the blues. Said my mind is rambling like some old rolling stone. Since that nightmare came to stay, baby, my thoughts just don't belong. I said them blues, ooh, it's just a bad dream. When it's lonely in the morning, baby, you're bound to wish you was. You're bound to wish you was lying dead. You know that first album, it was on Apple Records. Ooh, that album has grown and expanded as the years have gone by. Instead of being thought of as a neophyte's first tentative steps, that album has something in the way she moves on it, And Carolina in My Mind, Paul McCartney plays bass on that song, and Paul and George sing background vocals on that song. Yes, as if we had to love the Beatles any more than we already do. They discovered James Taylor and brought him to our attention. This week I was revisiting a song I recorded by Livingston Taylor, and I put it on YouTube. And he kindly recorded a spoken word introduction. Alan, I know that you're a busy man and sometimes you have to jump out, so don't feel shy. I'm glad you could check in for a moment, but you have to go back to that South Korean soap opera that you were watching, don't you? No, I'd love to have you stay, actually, but I understand if you can't. Liv was very generous and giving with his time, that he recorded quite a long, articulate intro as to how he wrote the song Mary Ann. And he and I both agree. So he's not shy about calling one of his songs great. He said he thinks it's one of the best pieces of writing he's ever done. And I agree, and it's a desert island song for me. So I got in the mood to sing it for you tonight. He did it on piano. So he was kind of tickled by the fact that I put it to a kind of James Taylor, Livingston Taylor-esque finger-picking part. It goes like... I know someday, very soon, you are going to go. You hid away your walking shoes. Your loss would hurt me so. Well, take them out and lace them up. You didn't understand. I was only fooling Mary Ann. There's a big old hazy moon floating through July, alone out in an open field. Well, I thought I would die. I shivered till the sun came up, till you took my hand. I was only fooling Mary Ann. I was only fooling when I said be my wife. Fooling when I thank God that you'd come into my life. And when I said forever and a day I'd love you, you didn't understand. I was only fooling Mary Ann. Liv has another one of my Desert Island songs, and Ellen said something there. Yeah. Hi, Dawn. Be careful, Al. The way she picks up things. She'll start talking Korean around the house. She's a quick study. Uh, 10 songs on a desert island, and they'd have to be a lot of Beatles songs, maybe a Dylan song, James Taylor's Fire and Rain. But Livingston Taylor would have two places on that list, and one is Marianne, and the other is his song called Step by Step, one of the greatest records I've ever heard in my life. And I've told him so. And hey, I tried to play it, and I could not. It's just too hard to play on solo piano. I mean, I think Steve Gadd was on drums on that song. Pardon me. And how are we on the time here? Yeah, we're getting down to the end. Boy, that really raced by that thing. I think I want to do another one of my latest songs. And again, my philosophy now about singing and playing the blues is that unless you're really, really going to go for it, why bother? It's a deep, profound art form, traditional, and in that spirit, I wrote this next song, and it's super, super simple, but I'm happy that I have this. And I will leave you with this tonight, and then see you out there. I'll be posting more on YouTube this week. If you're seeing this on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And if you can see in the chat room up at the top, if you scroll up, I have posted my virtual tip jar. I'm playing my Mad Cat guitar. This is the Telecaster style guitar that's based on the guitar that Prince played throughout his entire life. This is called When I Take My Last Breath. When I take my last breath, I will think of you. When I take my last breath, I will think of you. When I close my eyes, I will see you. When I sing my last song, I'll sing it for you. When I sing my last song, I'll sing it for you. Sing of the love that you showed me was true. Mike, I appreciate that. God bless you. Have a great night. And I will look forward to seeing you again soon.